Good evening, church. We're so glad to just come to you this evening and just say hello. Maybe for just a moment we could be of encouragement to you. We want you to know that we are praying for you, that there are people in our church that are thinking about you and praying for you. And even though our church isn't meeting right now, there are still ways that we are involved in relationship together. I wanted to introduce you to somebody. Sitting with me today is J.D. Davis, and his wife Lori are a little bit new to our church and a little bit new to our community. And we have been so blessed by getting to meet them and just be around and get to know them and their family. I imagine many of you have met them. If you haven't met them, I imagine you have seen them. And I highly suggest that you just take a few moments just to get to know them. But this evening, I wanted to ask him a few questions that just help get us thinking about some of the issues that are going on in our world today. So, JD, is there something that the Lord has just kind of been teaching you in the past week or weeks with this whole coronavirus situation?
Absolutely. I think one of the bigger things that we're learning here is about respect. And it's not just about respecting government or authorities or anything like that. It's if you become so set and ingrained in what you believe and what you assign to your belief system, then you're missing out on opportunities. And those opportunities are to be the hands and feet of Christ. I mean, if we were to all just sit here and badmouth the government and saying stop shutting everything down, which we do kind of feel sometimes get angry about those things just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But we're missing opportunities to serve the elderly in our community who can't service themselves right now due to fear of possibly getting sick or anything like that. So a big thing for us in our household is just seeing from different points of view and trying to understand those points of view and what they mean for other people as opposed to just how it affects us and what it means for us.
Yeah. I know JD and I, we've talked a lot about what it looks like just to be active. It's okay to get into arguments and to talk politics and to talk about all the things, with the government and the stock market and all those things. But at the end of the day, what really matters is, are we willing to do as much as we're willing to talk? And so I appreciate that about him. Secondly, I know that he and I, we've had a lot of conversations about not just money and finance, but what it looks like to faithfully tithe and give to the Lord through the avenue of the local church. Can you tell me why that's a big deal to you and your family?
Absolutely. As a young man starting out newly married, we didn't fully understand the importance or the biblical implications for tithing. As we've grown and spent more time with other Christians and with pastors and in our work and in the Word, ultimately we've understood that our finances aren't even really our finances. I mean, God's blessed us with this, whatever He's given you, and in the Bible we're mandated to give our first fruits to our local church, to church that we attend, because we're part of a community, and that's how we help our church out. How they pay their bills, how they keep the lights on for whenever they want to do a youth night, or how they pay their employees that their full-time wants to have employees. So, giving your first fruits to your local church, me and my wife and I wholeheartedly believe that is how God has mandated for us to spend that portion of our money, and we believe that's how our church gets things done for God's will, ultimately.
Well, we never encourage people to give so that the Lord will give you more back. That's a prosperity kind of message. But the reality is, when you give to the Lord first, He always takes care of us. He always blesses that. We don't do it so He'll bless us with more, but the Lord is always faithful in His blessings in our life. And so we want to encourage you, church, that that even though we're not meeting for a couple of Sundays, that giving to the Lord is still a commandment to the Lord, and it's still needed within our local church. And so one of the ways that you can continue to do that is by the mail delivery system. And so our church is at P.O. Box 187 here in Shepherd, Texas. And so you can mail into the church and just put it in an envelope, and that will get to the office just as easily. But there was one more question that I wanted to ask JD before we leave tonight. He has been working, and he and his wife have a heart and ministry for teenagers. And so I just wanted to ask him this evening, what's one way as a church that we can be praying for not just the youth in our church, but the youth in Shepherd and the youth in this culture right now? It's a very unique culture to be living in. It's a unique day to be living in. What's one thing that we could be thinking about and praying for them for?
I think the biggest thing that I would say for them to be praying, for us to be praying for them, is that they don't get complacent. They don't stop doing their school. They don't sit around and just turn into slugs who only watch Netflix or whatever. That, the Bible tells us, Proverbs 16:27, that the idle hands are the devil's playground, idle lips are his mouthpiece. So just to be active, to stay active in whatever God has commanded you to stay active in, and not become just another part of society that does nothing for anyone else.
Well, and we know with a lot of time on our hands right now, it's really easy just to sit back and to be lazy and to not do anything. And as a church, we want to encourage you to rest and to spend time with your family and to slow down a little bit. We always encourage that. But we got to be careful that we're not teaching our children and ultimately modeling for ourselves about being lazy and just being idle, because the Bible does say that that's where Satan wants to put his foot in your life and get a foothold, is when you and I just want to be lazy and to have those kind of idols in our life. And so this evening and for the next few days, we encourage you not just to be praying for our church and our community, but we invite you to join us in praying for our teenagers. We're excited about the work that the Lord is doing in your life. We're excited about the work that the Lord is doing in the life of JD and his family. And we invite you to pray about what it is that the Lord is calling you to do. JD, thank you so much.
Thank you.